Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Completely Unprofessional Podcast.
Finally got it right. You got it right. That's right.
Thank you, Fu. I didn't need you to say that. I didn't need you to say that. Happy New Year, everybody! And today we got our guest again, Fuquan Johnson.
I'm not a guest anymore.
I mean our co-host.
I'm pretty much here now.
Yeah, he's pretty much
stuck
here.
with me.
Pretty much, he got a new hat. He don't look dusty like he usually do. You know. And we got a special guest host, Nicky Davis Miller.
Hello, guys.
What up, Nick?
What's up?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Hey.
Today we have a very, very special guest. It's Alex Powers.
Hey, what's up? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for having me. I don't know why I'm a very, very special guest, but
Because you're very, very special.
Because you're very, very special.
all right. Well, with that said, let's talk about why. Because I don't even know.
First of all, you're a female. You have hair. You have eyes.
She's super.
She has
okay,
teeth.
so start
she
by
has
saying she's
mouth.
funny and she's
funny.
way hot.
Phenomenal
super
comedian.
hot.
No,
She's
actually,
tall.
if we could not talk at all about how funny I am or how unfunny I am, can we just only strictly talk about my looks? If
You're
we can make this
super
as
hot.
superficial as possible.
Hey, listen. Start with the looks, then we go deeper.
Okay, good.
No, I mean, like, we are here to talk about some deep stuff. That's why you brought me on, yeah? So it's kind of like,
Yes.
it's kind of, I mean, there's definitely some irony going on here.
Yes.
This is getting off to a funny start. I think really appropriate for the subject matter.
Yeah, well, we don't want to go right. That's like, you can't just go right for the bullseye, right? That's
No.
I was assaulted. No,
Let's have some assaulting foreplay first.
Oh God. First, anybody do anything interesting for New Year's? Not really. We're getting older, I guess.
No, I mean,
Seriously.
It's not as
I definitely got vagina.
Nice.
Kudos. to
I'm
food.
same.
Did you pay for it?
Same.
Oh, I don't pay.
Okay, good.
I don't
good.
pay.
Food doesn't pay.
I don't pay. I don't play that.
Because food's broke, you know.
No, I'm not broke. I'm not broke.
He pays in Uber rides.
I'm not paying Uber ride. Y'all did
Hey,
start
girl, I'll give you a ride.
Hey,
Give you a couple of
man.
rides.
It's your turn, buddy.
Hey, listen. They all doubt the dick till they try it. Leave it there.
Dude, I stayed in my this lovely lady I've been seeing for the last couple months was house sitting at a awesome house, a friend of hers, and so we just sat on the couch together and watched TV. But can I bring that up because did anyone else watch the live coverage? It was
I did.
unbearable.
Of what?
It was like impossible to watch.
The live coverage of what?
Of the ball dropping on New Year's Eve. They were so cold there in New York. Like Anderson Cooper, they looked so miserable. It like made me uncomfortable watching. So we watched Ozark.
That's way cooler.
So you watched Ozark with a beautiful woman.
I sure did. Phil.
I wouldn't have done that.
That sounds like a good New Year's.
No, it
yeah,
wasn't.
no, it was nice and quiet because I don't drink. So
I mean,
Not like
did you
that.
guys get cozy? That was a safe word. You see how I said cozy?
Cozy.
we
That
were
was a cold
we
one.
were as cozy as you could be watching live coverage from record cold temperatures in New York City.
So it means you fuck.
I mean, how cozy can you be
I can
watching
fuck through
Andrew?
anything. I can fuck through a storm. I can watch Oprah and fuck. I could eat oatmeal and fuck. I could clean a laptop and fuck. You know, it's just.
You should start charging people for that then.
I
'cause-
should.
That is talented.
I
Fu.
should. I'm
Why
a multitasker.
why you broke, Foo?
I'm not broke.
He just looks broke.
I do. I mean, I'm a black Jew. That's how you
Thank
get the
God,
money.
thank God you're wearing that hat.
Why?
Because if you weren't, you'd look crusty. That's a nice hat.
He looks crusty with it.
There's a lot of.
Look at this crisp white shirt.
There's
too.
a lot
That's
of
like
because
super
you're
white.
gonna be here.
Yeah, that's like jail shirt.
That shirt is whiter than your credit score. Shit.
Do you think I have my credit score?
Chang.
We just assuming it's bad. You know it's bad.
No, it's not. I
not?
didn't know.
Seriously?
Y'all motherfuckers really doubt me.
No. We
And
don't
you know
doubt
what?
you.
I'll let you go ahead.
Well, you just let us know. So his credit is good.
I love
Food's
you,
good.
Phil.
No, Food's a good dude.
Go ahead, take your shots. It's cute.
No
I
more.
went
No
for
more.
Nicky and her
What'd you
mittens.
do?
It's
What
ironic.
did
No,
you
it's
do?
ironic. We're totally being
I just
ironic.
stayed home at friends
know.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing
Probably have
crazy.
the best credit score
You know?
here.
So what you do, Nikki?
I did a show.
Oh, I saw it. It was in the living room, huh?
It was in a living room of a what do you call it? What's
A house.
Yeah, but it's about a house, a swank house in Malibu, sober living house.
Oh, so
So-
did you talk about drugs?
A little bit, and I probably could do more. I just wasn't sure really how far to push it with them. But they like it though.
I'm pretty sure they did worse for drugs. You can
Oh,
go
absolutely.
all the way.
Yeah, they like it. They like the dirty material.
You
too.
like the dirty material?
Do I like the dirty material? Yeah.
So you're dirty.
As a person, or as a stand-up, or as
That's a retarded question.
Thank you.
I
It's not, I thought you were going to say rhetorical. I'm so glad you
being
said
that guy right
retarded.
now.
Yeah.
So Dante threw a party at his house. I didn't go.
I didn't go either.
Yeah, nobody went to your party, huh?
No, nobody came.
I wanted to.
No, a few people came.
Who came?
Fat dude.
Why you?
Lucas.
Are you body shaming people already?
No, you know what? It's not important.
Well, yes, it is. You Dante threw a big party. He had Hennessy
not a big
left.
party. It was just
he
a
had
few people
Ciroc
over.
left. He had every alcohol left.
No.
They drunk it all.
No. But it's not every alcohol.
Okay. Did you blow somebody's horn when the ball dropped? You know?
No, that wasn't my thing.
No,
That's
you
not
had
my
the in a ring.
No.
You didn't do none of that?
No.
Who did you kiss when the ball dropped?
The lady.
A lady.
The lady.
The
Oh,
lady.
the lady.
The
Okay.
lady.
The one.
lady.
Okay, that's what's
The
up.
wife.
You know what? Your questions suck.
I mean, I wasn't there. I want to know what happened.
Okay. No, you could have asked me the next day when you see me.
Christmas, I got drunk at your house.
Yeah.
I definitely acted a fool. I had a girl over. We no longer talk.
No. You used to food shit, huh?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know you
Fuck
don't.
her.
So, okay, reason why we got our special guest here. And
Yeah.
what really caught my attention was a few months ago. It's been a few months, right? A few
Yeah.
months ago, saw a very interesting video that she put out, and I guess for the people that don't know, you want to shed some light on, on.
No, man. I mean, you go ahead, go for it.
Well, but it was your situation.
He was going to narrate your story. That's what he's about to
No,
do.
good. What,
Okay, guys, the main
talk
thing
about the video. What'd you see?
So basically,
I guess for some context, you could say this was back in October of 2017, like when the hashtag Me Too movement was hot and heavy and had just kind of gotten started. And for the record, it's like I sat on it for days. I had no ambition to I literally in just that last 6 months, you can't even count. You can't even keep track of how many times you're bumped into accidentally,
Oh,
quote
no,
unquote.
no.
Like I had some dude take his knuckle and tap my pussy with it in a grocery store, literally.
What?
Oh my
What?
God.
Dude, that happened.
Does he
It
know,
wasn't
did he
even a
know you?
comedian.
Yeah, did you know it?
No, of course not. It was just some dude walking by me in a grocery store and we made eye contact and he had to literally make lateral movement 3 to 4 feet to get into my way and accidentally bump into me. But he took his knuckle and he tapped my, the front of my jeans. It's like, how do you even, when the Me Too movement was happening, it's like, how do you even I didn't want to make a post. I didn't want to make a video, but I did, which is why, and this is the video Dante's talking about. So that was the context of what was going on. It wasn't exactly random.
What brought you to come to the point where you're like, okay, I have to make this video?
Well, first of all, a video about, what? I mean, if you want to, I'm just going to sit back right now.
Okay, well, the video is about Alex Shizlight, how she was on a show and she was sexually assaulted by comedian Jeff Garcia. And she gave some crazy details. I mean, the part that really, really kind of made me God, made me really feel bad was that he was you were verbally assaulted after the fact.
I mean, it happened at a roast. So it's I wouldn't say it's a verbal assault. It's still under the context of a performance, but it is an extraordinary situation to be assaulted by a comic who then literally immediately afterwards goes up and just tears into you, rips you apart, roasting you for being, the way you look and for your sexuality and being a lesbian and gets a couple hundred people in an audience to laugh at you right after you just assaulted them. That's definitely an extraordinary experience.
I didn't watch the video. I just know about the situation.
Dude, bro, it was a long fucking video. I don't blame you.
I watched the video like 3 times.
I know because you're gay. So when we think of assault, are we talking about verbal or physical? I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, I'm a comic. I mean,
my thing is this:
would I really be? No, if it's verbal assault, if it's that's called harassment. If someone's going to use the word assault, at least me, I'm assuming They're talking about the physical kind, the legal kind.
I mean,
This motherfucker didn't watch the video? God, you are the most unprepared host.
I know about the situation. I know the motherfucker. I don't need to watch the video.
What happened was, I was sitting next to him on the couch where the comics were sitting, and he grabbed my chat. He grabbed my boob, and he massaged it. He started by, it's hilarious. He started
But my thing is this: after you grab a boob and he massages, when's your first thing to hit it?
You would think that, but you don't have boobs, so you don't really know.
I have my dick assaulted, grabbed, and I definitely pushed the girl away.
I honestly couldn't move.
You were probably stunned. I was
totally frozen.
Right. Definitely, that makes sense.
I kind of just sat there paralyzed. I wasn't really able to move. But yeah, he started by put his hand on my stomach, and like that, like I didn't even see that coming. Like I just felt his hand on my stomach, and I looked down, and he was like rubbing my tummy, and I was like, "What
the hell?"
I was like, "What?" And then he moved up, and he grabbed my boob, and then grabbed it, squeezed it, whatever, and then he looked at me and he said, "Man, he was like, you got a nice rack," and he was like, "You're a lesbian. What a waste." That's what happened.
I think that honestly, that's real corny of him.
That's real corny.
It's also illegal, but
I mean, those are the words I choose to lead, which is illegal. Yeah, but I'm not with the challenge. It says you like girls, I'm gonna leave you alone, and plus y'all guys work together.
What if I wasn't into girls?
It's
still not okay.
It's still, listen.
I think
But it would make more
Don't
sense.
beat up my words. I'm just saying.
I think he meant he was corny to say that, right? Not what he did, what he said.
What he did was corny.
Was
What he said was
ridiculous.
corny.
What he did was
corny.
an asshole move. And it was assault. That is assault.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I mean, the legal, the authorities, the law enforcement, would look at that as misdemeanor assault.
So you know what's crazy? So when I first heard the story, I heard that I thought you guys were on the road, like you open for him regularly.
No, I don't open for him regularly.
That's what I was told. So I was wrong.
See, that's why you need to watch the video, fool.
Man, you watch the fucking video from you.
No, I have a friend that opened for him regularly, but I mean, yeah. So that's basically, so everyone's up to speed. That's what happened, and so I posted a video, and then also in the video, the reason why it was so long is because about 6 months later, I would say, I was opening for someone who I do open for a lot regularly, and I was booked a weekend at a club with them, and I didn't know it, but until the night I showed up for the first show, and I didn't realize until then that Jeff Garcia was going to be there that weekend doing guest spots.
Wow.
So that was the next time I encountered him about 6 months later, and that weekend, I endured just a lot of kind of pretty persistent and like relentless harassment that weekend from him and a little buddy of his, a little minion of his named Pedro that he brought along. And between the two of them, it was pretty clear it was like a cohesive effort on their part to kind of like gang up on me and, like with the intent to intimidate and, just definitely make it a hard weekend for me.
Had you said anything to anybody at this point, or this was before?
I had told. At that point, I had told the promoter of the first show where he, grabbed me. I told the promoter of that show months after the fact, and then I told another comic who is not a cisgendered male comic, is not a male comic, and I told them because they had expressed to me that, in working with him, they had observed a lot of behavior of his that they found to be really disturbing and behavior that had gotten him banned from another club here in town. And so at that point, when I realized that this wasn't an isolated thing, even though, your suspicions tell you it's not, because
sure,
when you're grabbing people's boobs, you're probably doing it a lot. It's normally pathological. When I found out for sure, from my friend, my other comic friend that works with him, that, it was something she had observed him do a lot. That's when I was like, I need to tell you what happened. So I had only told maybe a handful of people at that point.
Was he aware that you had spoken about it or no?
I don't know.
Okay, because I'm thinking that could be where the bullying comes in afterwards. To
that nigga be drinking. He's drunk most of the time. We all know this.
Well, I have a friend who was murdered by her boyfriend when he was in a blackout. So he's, he was drunk. He's also sitting in jail right now. I mean, like, I'm just saying it's like, yeah.
When I say anything, it's not to justify his acts. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, like, guess what? You get intoxicated, you do things, you commit a crime. Like, people don't care if you were intoxicated when you did it. You still pay the price.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I don't drink.
Okay.
You know? Like I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober for 3.5 years. You think I'd give a fuck if you had a couple drinks before you grabbed somebody? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
How did you feel like afterwards? Because you said you didn't say anything for a few months, and that's totally normal. And some people don't say anything.
You know,
ever.
I didn't even tell my girlfriend. I got home that night and I didn't say anything. And then like a few days went by, and I guess I was like being irritable and just like sensitive. And she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I remember I broke down in tears, and I was like, Jeff Garcia grabbed my chest on stage, like when I was sitting next to him at that show. Oh, Dante just patted my back. It's really okay. Like I'm not here because I'm a little, you know, like baby about it.
No.
Like I'm
Absolutely
here
not.
because like I'd like to think that I handled this in the most badass way I possibly could have. You know, and at the end of that video, I made it very clear, like if you're going to fuck with me, if you're going to touch me, you're going to harass me, you're going to make, you know, my workplace hazardous for me in any way or attempt to do so, I'm going to wipe my ass with you. And that's why I made the video.
That's awesome.
And I fucking named his name because it's like, why should I be keeping his secret? It's like, if you're gonna make choices like that and do it in a pathological way, not just to me, but to other people, if you're gonna fuck with, you know, a comedy club's wait staff, if you're gonna fuck with other comics, you're gonna fuck with patrons that came to see you and then, you know, do whatever to them after the show. If you're going to do that, then you better be ready to accept the consequences. And in this day and age, it's pretty clear the consequences are not only legal and sometimes financial, but it's just like, it's as simple as like public shaming. You know, like if you're going to do those things, be prepared for everyone to know that you do those things.
I feel like sometimes it's hard to say something though, because like say he's been in comedy for what, like 30 years, and he's got you know a lot of momentum, whereas. I mean, I don't know how long you've been doing stand-up, and I know that, you know, you're definitely not a novice, so you've been doing this for a long time, but, like, I feel like somebody like him could potentially try to step in your way if you were to threaten him, you know, or be threatening to him in any way. So that's why a lot of times girls don't say anything.
I mean, like, I know Dante has a few, you know, questions he wants to ask me about the aftermath of me posting a video like that, and I'm like, totally down to, you know, I can do my best to tell you what I've heard as far as ways in which he's retaliated or tried to. I mean, it's all hearsay. I can only tell what people have told me. Nothing has happened directly, but like, trust me, like I think when you, and that's the thing, like to answer your question, Nicky, like I've been doing it 10 years and it's like, yeah, he's got some momentum, but like Dante and I were cracking up about this one night when we were talking about it and he asked me like, hey, come on the podcast and talk about this. And I was like, yeah, dude, like in 10 years doing comedy, I've opened up and worked with like way more famous comics than fucking Jeff Garcia. Like Jeff who? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I was gonna make accusations against a famous comic, quote unquote, you know, like a big comic, it would not be him. There's way bigger comics like I've worked with, but guess what? None of them grabbed me.
Yeah.
None of them have ever assaulted me or harassed me or made me feel uncomfortable. He's the one. He's the one that did it. And, you know, I think like having done comedy 10 years myself and having this little accolade and that little accolade and this relationship and that relationship, I got to a point where, yeah, I felt safe enough. Like I was like, if he retaliates, he retaliates. Like you don't do a video like that or go on record with the Times, like whatever your situation is, whether you're going at Louis C.K. or someone that no one cares about. I think you do it going into it knowing like, okay, there could be legal repercussions of this. There could be, you know, public social repercussions of this. And you accept that going into it.
But you're telling the truth though. And you're doing the best thing that you can possibly do. And it's extremely brave of you to do that.
Thank you. In the next year, in the year that followed after he grabbed me, and I found out all the other things that I had heard from other people that he had been doing, when I realized he was hurting other people, that's when I was like, yeah, I can say something.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking with other people.
Yeah, he's
not just about me.
He definitely has
I know a few women that have told me they've been sexually harassed or sexually assaulted, inappropriately touched, whatever, and they don't want to come out. They're just terrified to say anything. They're like, you know, there's a different excuse every time. I don't want to mess with anyone's life. What if they all turn against me? Whatever. I mean, I think what you did just really took a lot of courage.
It did.
And really,
Thanks.
I'm encouraging other women to do the same thing.
Even
It should
being
not
here.
be tolerated. It shouldn't. I mean, like I think it really bothers me that it didn't stop. It didn't stop after that. Like it just kept going. And, you know, it's like this dude just has no kind of game. Like this. What kind of game is that?
Have at it, guys. I think I talked for 15 minutes straight, but like, go at it, have at it. Like thoughts.
Oh, like what? Prior to the incident, what kind of relationship did you guys have?
I'd done, I think, one show with him.
So barely knew him at all. So
I barely know. I mean, like, I did one show with him at the Ontario Improv and met him in the green room, and he and I talked. I wasn't alone in there with him. You know, I was with a couple other people, and he told me to hit up some people, and he was like, oh, you know, he got to know me a little bit. That was like years and years ago, and I literally didn't see him or work with him again until that like October 2016.
Wow, so he sexually harasses basically acquaintances. He like people that he barely knows.
He didn't even know me. I mean, even besides that one interaction I had with him where I did a show with him at the Ontario Improv like years ago, besides that, the only connection I had to him was my friend opened up for him a lot, like regularly. That was it.
Now, him continued to verbally assault you after the incident. Like, what do you think? Why do you think he was so angry? I mean, you think he felt insecure that you didn't give in, or you know, what do you think that?
You mean the harassment that occurred months later at the club that I was working at?
Because that was to me that's so unnecessary. Like, what do you think stemmed that out? What do you think that stemmed?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I'm not a predator.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not a sexual predator. Like I don't. You know, you gotta. What we always hear about like sexual predation, people that sexually assault and harass, it's a power dynamic. So I don't have issues with power like he does. So I can't answer those questions. But I can tell you that like, you know, it was also like constant dodging of physical touch. And I mean, like, I remember he came up one night into the club like that weekend, 6 months later, and like I tried to hunch over and take a bite of my food so that he wouldn't hug me, and it was just like every chance he had to force a hug on me. Like at one point, I was I was going back on stage because I was hosting, and when I went back up on stage after his spot, I like extended my hand to shake it so he wouldn't hug me on stage, and he took my hand and he kissed it. So like God. It was just tons of like, yeah,
he's
like
so creepy.
He's just grossness all weekend. Just, you know, what is it?
That is a power thing though. It's like I have this thing that I'm just going to keep doing to you until you just
I will tell you this, like so there's a news publication that actually interviewed me this week, and they want to interview me on camera next week at the Laugh Factory about this. And not this specifically, but like sexual harassment, assault in comedy, blah, blah, blah. And they want to know, especially how female comics or comics in general approach material about the situation. And I got to say that weekend, it wasn't something he said, but it was something his friend Pedro said. And I made a joke about it on stage while Pedro was there. And then that, you know, joke got integrated into my routine, and it's a joke I do now. And it was really embarrassing for him, I think, you know, but, you know, that was another way I handled it. I was pissed that whole weekend because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't avoid the dude. And so I took one stupid, like harassing thing that came out of his little minion's mouth, and I just made him look like a fucking idiot.
But it must be just a hard thing, like, I'll be there all weekend with this guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, God.
Dude, I was like, that week after that weekend was horrible because like all the trauma that would have come up like from him grabbing me 6 months before, like all that shit I dealt with that week after that weekend.
So I mean, I just for the people like, because you know people saying, oh, this is a fad now to the whole Me Too hashtag. Has anybody tried to put you in that box?
I don't know.
I don't know. You might have got your bash ass like, yo, she's probably one of the many that's trying to just ride the wave.
I mean, there was some dude that, you know, wrote a comment on the comment thread of that video on Facebook, but I don't give a fuck. You know, it was just some idiot. Okay. Just some asshole. I mean,
some nobody.
And I don't care. Like, I don't care, you know?
No, and I mean, you shouldn't care because you're sincere, what you're saying. And you know, you're passionate and you're right. And that's cool. But it are some people.
I really didn't get any backlash from that video. I mean,
you know what? You have a great reputation. Like, honestly, every time I've worked with you, you've been nothing but pleasant to work with.
Thanks, you too, Dante.
You're always encouraging the other comedians.
I know I have a great reputation.
You do your job.
Yeah, thank you.
You're funny, so
that's what we're there. Yeah, that's what we're there to do. I mean, like, and that's the thing. I think the extent of my reputation, my good reputation, became clear to me when like he hasn't directly retaliated. I know this is like a question you wanted to ask.
Yeah,
I'll just get to it now, but like he hasn't directly retaliated against me since me doing that video. What I have heard. So in other words, he hasn't reached out to me personally. He hasn't threatened me in any way. I haven't received any cease and desist letter from his legal representative, like nothing like that. But what I've heard is that he's reached out to other comics, both male and female. Like he called Carlos Mencia, who I've opened up for 3 years, and was like, dude, this is what I was told. He was like, she's trying to ruin my name, and which just makes me laugh. She's trying to ruin my name and ruin my reputation, and bro, like, she made a video, you got to help me. And what I was told was that Carlos was like, dude, fuck off. Like, go fuck. And they've known each other for 20 some years, almost 30 years. And he was like, I'm not fucking helping you.
No, and why would you? Why would you even want to like be close to that?
So that says a lot about Carlos.
Yeah.
But then, there's other comics, female comics, that have told me that, Jeff Garcia reached out to them and was like, why don't you make a video about Alex Powers doing this and that? And they were like, what? No. So to the best of my knowledge, he's tried to reach out to people to incriminate me or like discredit me in some way. And they won't do it because I don't have a fucking bad reputation.
Yeah, they can. There's nothing there.
What would they make a video about?
That's what I'm saying. There's
what?
Nothing there.
Make a video. Talk about how
she's so
doesn't
smart.
like dudes.
Yeah.
She doesn't like dudes. She doesn't like penis. Fuck her.
What the fuck that got to do with anything?
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Like, even if I wanted to, someone's like, hey, even if you were like, hey, I give 50,000, make a video about me and say negative. I wouldn't know what to say.
Here's my question.
Take the money and won't make the video.
Yeah, make a bunch of shit up.
I mean, it with you.
My question is, what have you guys heard? Because like I made the video, I washed my hands clean of it. I
haven't heard much.
Lived my life since.
Either.
I haven't seen him at the clubs.
So crazy. So this is how I stumbled upon it because it was like a small vlog video, pretty much about the hashtag Me Too. And they talked about her and her situation briefly, nothing really detailed.
Yeah.
Then they talked about 2 other situations. So you were the only person I recognized as far as the names. And as far as like getting deep in debt, I didn't go watch a video just because a nigga be high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I mean,
no, I hear you.
And
dude, I wouldn't watch the video if I were me.
I mean, if I made video, I don't watch my own video.
I thought that was very interesting.
I never took it that serious until I heard your story. You know what I mean? As far as you and what you went through, I never took it serious and actually thought about it till now. And probably when we was talking about getting you on the show. And I just don't like the fact that you get caught up in the rest of the whole Me Too ash. Well, I think some situations are not real as yours.
Look, I have and this is I'm kind of happy you brought it up because, I had a friend that was brutally attacked last year.
Okay.
Brutally attacked. And, I think as women, as victims, as survivors, as men, like we got to realize like there are people that have endured serious sexual assaults. Yes. And it's not like comparative pain or anything like that, but like my friend was attacked, had to rehab at Duke University in a 6-week program, like had a massive concussion, was in ICU, like that kind of brutal attack. And the Me Too movement for someone like her who was fresh off an almost, life-threatening experience like that was like, this is bullshit. Like what is the percentage of women that have actually had my experience and been put in the hospital because of this? But then like that was her initial. So you got to remember, it's like, I think the movement, it needs to be all inclusive. It needs to include everything from harassment, and even like the most minuscule forms of harassment, because some of that stuff's really manipulative and very subtle.
Yeah, there needs to be an awareness, and I don't know. Yeah, it sounded like maybe you were saying like
I'm not going against her.
No,
like
I didn't think that, but like that there's like a level of
No, because just be honest. And this is not directed to you because you don't fit the whole platform. There are some girls that go on stage, they talk about dick, I suck dick. They go on stage, they dress super sexy, for lack of better words. And then they get approached that way, which is still not cool, but there's ways to avoid. Now, your situation, you do not dress provocative. You don't really talk that shit. So it's like for you to go through that, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And those other girls, Is it
I don't
right
know.
for them?
I don't think there's such thing as asking for it.
No,
though.
Even if you got your boobs out.
First of all, asking for it never came out of my mouth.
And first of all, like I'm dressed like I'm wearing a flannel right now because I woke up and realized it was lesbian day.
You guys are not.
Like I mean,
every day
on
lesbian
stage.
day.
I mean, like,
First of all, no, not to cut you off or nothing, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's some girls out there that use their sexuality to get advances in this game. And
but so do I.
Why?
But you're not like. So I hear what you're saying.
Hold up.
I hear what you're saying. I just don't agree.
So you say it's cool to use your sexuality to get advanced in this game?
No, I didn't say that.
What you just say right now?
I said that like the fact that I'm like first of all, what I was getting at is that like I'm wearing a flannel right now, but like when I go on stage, typically, I mean you've seen me do shows where I'm a little bit more casual, but like when I dress for stage, I dress for stage as if every show I'm doing is the Tonight Show because it's important to me to like look professional and look nice, and that includes as a woman looking sexy, looking attractive, and looking well, like put together.
Right.
For female comics that have that same agenda, they want to look good on stage. That does not mean that they are asking to be harassed or assaulted.
That's not what I said.
And the fact
that's not what I said.
Okay, we'll just let me back up, and then my sexuality. Well, yeah, I happen to be a lesbian. I do use my sexuality to my advantage in comedy because it puts me in a more exclusive demographic.
You're using it as like, okay,
it's a market. It's a market.
You're not using it like.
I think I know what you said.
She's not saying she promises sex.
I think I get it. The way you go about it. Is very respectable. The way she moves.
No. That's what I'm saying. I like the way she moves.
No, the way
you do.
What you're talking about is those birds that just move like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Move like they have a horse movement.
You
don't have a horse movement.
You know what I mean? You know how many girls fuck for stage time? A lot. Do I think that's cool?
All right. I didn't realize that's what you were saying.
Without getting
I didn't
fucking
either
raw.
until he said it.
That wasn't made clear to me. I thought you were just talking about
girls in fucking Hollywood sucking dick for stage time.
First of all, like we have microphones. How loud does this decibel need to be? I mean, I hear you. Okay, I just needed a little bit of clarification. Calm the fuck down, Fu. My God.
Yo, ease up, son.
No, actually, I think
because you're trying to put the pic. You know what?
No, dude.
Talk your talk. It's about you, shorty.
No, it's not about me, dude.
Yes,
I'm just you're saying ease up, but I'm not the one yelling in my right fucking ear, dude.
Because you're chopping my words down.
I'm not trying to chop your words down. I'm here to listen and have clarification. But my right ear is my good ear, bro. All right. Fuck, man, that's my good ear. That's the ear people need to talk into so I can understand them better. I got fucking crooked ear canals, and my left ear is 90% blocked. All right, so please, all I'm saying is my ears are fucking ringing. You don't need to get that loud. You got Chang here who's going to translate for you. I hear what you're saying now.
I'm saying this is a slick shit I'm talking about. Watch your fucking mouth.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what time it is.
Dude, why?
Because what she said, I apologize for yelling. You saw me sit back, and then you hit with some little slick ass remark at the end. I'm trying to respect you, shorty.
Dude, I'm trying to respect you too. Okay, I'm just saying.
Then I'll shut the fuck up.
Okay,
right. What was this? What was the?
This is so fucking unnecessary. I didn't realize that when you were talking about girls that like look sexy on stage and talk about dick. I didn't realize you were talking about girls that sleep for stage time.
Never gave me a chance to finish my thought.
All right.
Well, okay.
All right, Fu. I apologize.
No need to apologize.
No, I know, but I'm doing it anyway.
I think that this goes with the territory though, and this is why it's such a heated conversation, is because there is a fine line, and sometimes we don't know what we're talking about. I didn't really understand what Fu was talking about until he clarified about girls who are having sex for spots.
I talk about it with you all the time because I respect you and I respect you. I love you. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I mean, I might get hammered for saying this. 80 to 90% of the women, I don't respect how they maneuver. I just don't. You know what I mean? You guys work. You both work hard.
And that's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of girls out there that's making this Me Too shit a shame thing. They're not giving it credit.
Like you're one person I could definitely say you didn't bring it upon yourself. I've seen instances. I'm not gonna say a woman does anything to bring it upon herself, but like they'll kind of like flirt and then kind of invite it to themselves, where I don't think you will ever do anything like that. I've seen it, like where it's like you kind of you kind of ask for it.
Well, once you say no, that's when it becomes harassment.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So if somebody says, yes, come and do it to me, then obviously it's not harassment.
And like, you got to look at this, you got to read it as if it's law. Like if you grab someone without their permission or consent, that constitutes as assault. So regardless of how, someone looks or, what they talk about on stage, you got to remember, that's on stage. It's part of a performance. And if you're going to take that and think that like that, what anyone's saying on stage is meant to be suggestive and, a game plan for how they want to be treated off stage, then that like you're in the wrong. And if you go as far as to touch that person without them like saying like, hey, touch me, then you're opening yourself up to legal persecution. Look, going back to this, Fu, I'm sorry, man, but like you gotta understand, this is a really sensitive topic to talk about. I don't want to be hearing someone's voice like getting raised that loud, that close to me when I'm talking about this. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Thanks.
I think we just weren't clear on what
this is where I got sensitive. You explain you have your ear. I apologize about the yelling in your ear.
I was really just trying to be funny.
And then that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, yo, if you trying to express and be serious about a situation that's sensitive, then gonna hit me with some old, well, we gonna get Chang to translate because you can't talk. Nigga, that's where I got.
Well, she didn't understand you either.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. Y'all niggas would know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, you gotta
be
say like,
stupid.
I get you. I
understand. But
I
when
know
she took
you
the
as a
little
person. I know that.
And I mean,
but
no ill will. Everybody knows me. Hey, yeah.
I wasn't saying you can't talk. I'm just saying like Chang, whatever. Chang understands you. Chang was able to convey what it was you were talking
didn't understand.
about.
I don't think none of you understood exactly where I'm coming from. I think Chang was trying to defuse the situation. That's what Chang was trying to do.
No, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. You're basically saying like in.
I'm not basically. I said what I said.
Okay, you're saying basically there are women that you feel that invite.
No, I didn't say invite because there's no way a woman should feel the way she felt going anywhere or treated the way she was. I'm saying there's some girls out there that are crossing that line and is giving people like you and Nicky a bad rep.
That is inviting.
I don't agree with that. That's an opinion. But I don't think my rep is bad because of a few.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. Look, dude. I know, I get it. I know that's not what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that like what you perceive as, across the board, people's reputations being tarnished because of a few women that like are using or misappropriating whatever. Yeah, dude, because you know what? You want to talk about numbers? Only 18% of sexual assaults get reported, and out of that, only 12% of them actually get investigated. So if you want to talk about numbers, let's talk about those ones.
I didn't say to talk about numbers. You brought up numbers. I don't deal with numbers. I deal with food.
All right, well then, yeah. If a few girls want to misappropriate an entire movement, like I don't give a shit. If some people think that reflects poorly on me, I don't really care. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
I think I'm totally exempt from.
Absolutely not.
Listen, I'm saying this, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I think whatever I'm trying to explain to you guys is totally not getting across to you guys. And I'm sorry if you're taking offense. I'm sorry because this is a sensitive matter. That my words are not getting across to you or Nicky or Dante
I'm not
the right
offended
way.
at all. I just wanted further clarification. That's all. I just wanted to hear. I wanted to hear you out. That's all.
What the fuck was that dude called in fucking Bright? Orchid? You guys making me feel like that nigga.
Dude, I'm not offended by anything you're saying. Like I'm not easily offended. Like seriously.
I just know it's a sensitive topic, and I'm really trying to dance and use like fucking PC words, which I'm not.
You don't need to do that. I'm pretty sure I said the word retarded earlier, but
retarded is not a bad word to use in my book. You know what I mean? When you're explaining something,
we're not offended. Like I'm not offended by anything you're saying. It was literally just like the level of the voice.
Okay,
that's all.
And I apologize.
I wasn't offended at all. I just wanted to hear more clarification. That's all.
When I'm talking right now, it wasn't really talking necessarily about her situation. I'm talking about the whole harassment thing. Why, a lot of people, some girls are playing that cry wolf shit.
I don't even think you referred to her at all.
With that. I've seen that happen.
You know what I mean? I've seen that. I've seen girls point the finger saying, hey, this dude did this, and it's fucked up that she's doing it, and that dude had to suffer. And so now when people come across real situations, they go, is she telling the truth?
Right.
And I hate the fact that she's going to be even put in that situation where somebody will even doubt her word.
That's always been the case, though, and it has nothing to do with women that false report or whatever.
It's not even about women. It's about people who false report because, there's dudes who do the same shit too.
There are certain kinds of crimes that no one really has that level of skepticism. If someone came in this room and was like, so-and-so stole, we would not be like, oh, I don't know about that. There's something about violent crimes committed against women that have always maintained this level of doubt and skepticism. Like if a child came and made a report and was like, if a kid was like, so-and-so touched me, we'd all be like, oh my God, there'd be no, but statistically speaking, children are not reliable. I'm not saying like this is super controversial, but like there are certain instances and certain investigations and crimes and like court proceedings and stuff where children are not reliable witnesses. And a lot of times people get falsely accused and they get charged and convicted because of, the only witness available is like a 6-year-old.
Right.
Okay. For whatever reason, though, when a woman comes forward and is like, this is happening to me, there needs to be 30 other women that come forward saying the same fucking thing for, a majority of people to be like, yeah, he might have been touching those women.
Yeah.
No, see, I would go with the woman. Because I side with women.
I'm not going to lie. Like,
I see what women go through.
99% of the time, I believe the
You are in
woman.
a business where you see it every single day.
I see it every day. And
I believe the kid too. I don't know why.
I'd believe the kid too. Even though sometimes they lie.
Yeah.
Like sometimes,
like
I have a friend, right? She's a bit promiscuous. You know what I mean? And she's cool. She's my nigga.
She's a comic or
no? No, she's not a comic.
Oh.
She works at a bar. She's cool. And because people, she chooses who the fuck she wants to fuck, and that's what's up. But people who haven't had that relationship with her do approach her that way. And I'm like, yo, why don't you say something to this guy? And she goes, nah, fool, I just, wipe it on the road. Nah, I don't think it's cool. But as a black man, yeah, there's tons of racist shit that happens to us, and we eat that. We eat it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel for her. Like, I know how the fuck you feel.
Yeah.
And for her to step
Kind
up.
of. I don't think anyone grabbed your chest, but...
No.
No, I mean, honestly, like, people get super mad at Dave Chappelle.
What?
Because of like just shit he said in the last few specials, like.
Really? No, I didn't know. I haven't read. I'm sorry.
He's kind of been defending Louis C.K. a little bit, right?
I mean, like, okay, like there was shit he said about the trans. Remember when the people got upset about the transgender stuff? The material he was doing in like one of the first 2 specials, and then like in the most recent one that came out, he was like saying shit about some of the Louis C.K. accusers and stuff. But the thing is, every time he's done that. Every time he's played like devil's advocate or so to speak, about a group of people that are in outrage about their rights or their safety being violated, right? Whether it's transgenders, whether it's women, whatever. He always brings it back to this place of like he's approaching that and looking at it through the lens of a black man that's had the experience of being a black man in America his whole life. And, he like then reminds everybody, centuries and centuries worth of history of oppression that his people have. And like, I've always like, I'm like, he's fucking right. He's like, all right, transgenders and you want to like get your bathroom, be able to go in the bathroom you want, but I just got called the N-word in traffic like Wednesday. Right. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. It's like, so I don't know, the hashtag Me Too movement, like me as a woman, as a gay woman, as a member of the LGBTQ community and a lady, it's like, I don't think I can effectively do my part to protect other women, help other women, give them a voice without remembering that like I could get paid the same amount. Like the wage gap could go away tomorrow and black people probably will still be getting shot by the cops without those cops going to jail or anything happening. Like for me, the Me Too movement is like way more. It's not just about women because like, what's the point? Luke, who gives a fuck if women stop getting catcalled and stop getting harassed and stop getting assaulted if black people are still getting killed?
So you think it should be more like all inclusive?
I just think that like when you have your own movement and like you're part of a demographic and there's a movement that caters to you, great, go for it. Do everything you can to like facilitate that movement achieving, the intended outcome. But like be aware of like who's to your right and who's to your left. What other groups have been trying to get the same fucking thing that you want for yourself right now for centuries?
Yeah.
And it's like they're still not getting it. That's all I'm saying. Like I
agree with
that's
that.
all.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, but the whole black movement, I never fought. The whole like Black Lives Matters. I mean, it's out there. That's what's up. I never been a part of it. I just not saying I don't support it or do support it. It is what it is. It ain't about blacks right now. But what I'm trying to say is, I understand how you feel when you're not comfortable going certain places or handling your business. Right. That's what I'm saying.
I think what women need to remember, and like I felt this way when the election happened. The morning after the election, when fucking fucktard won, allegedly, I woke up reliving every single assault and like harassment. Like I woke up that next morning feeling like I had been raped, literally the night before. And that feeling I recognized, and I was like, this might actually be, I just felt so left behind and so forgotten. And I was very conscious. I was like, this might be the closest I'll ever come to knowing what it's like to feel like a person of color in this country. And so like, I believe that like when people come forward and they're like, I know, like when men come forward in particular and they're like, I know how you feel. I know what it's like. Of course it's black men. I think you're the only ones that can come close, that have had the experience, that can come close to knowing what it's like to walk down the street fearful.
I think it's probably a double negative. I mean, it's double for black women.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody who gets put in that situation where, shit ain't right, you try, in a sense, I'm not doing this to take light from nobody. I'm just trying to say, I hear you. I feel you. Yeah. I don't understand. No, hold on. I understand you. I may not totally feel you because I'm not in that situation because it's kind of different because I don't get touched or, you know what I mean? Things like that. Like, I'm not scared to be around somebody because I'm touched. Sometimes I'm weary about going somewhere like, oh, these niggas going to look at me funny. So I probably won't go. But to physically feel threatened, that's something I can only understand but never, like, truly.
No, I appreciate that. Like, thank you. I know you hear me. I think you do. I think out of everyone sitting at this table, you're the one person that could come close to like even like know what it feels like.
I mean, he hears me all the time talking about, yo, these people such and such. I'm like, even when the last week when we talked with you, Nicky, and you told us this situation, I was like, yo, really?
Which situation?
When you told me
the emails?
Yeah. I was just like, really? Like, I don't.
Oh, that's on a regular basis.
But that's the things I don't know, and I'm like, yo, really? And I felt like kind of bad because I know you personally. Right. Yeah. Fuck a comedy. I know you now.
Well, so what am I going to do? Like, I can't like speak up about that person and name names.
Yes, you can.
I mean, I can, but I am not necessarily as brave and don't know that that's necessarily going to help. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel, but
Alex is. I don't know. I think what you did was.
It's dope.
It's an incident right here where she doesn't really want to name names.
See,
there's so many women like that, and I think
it's terrifying. Yeah. It really is.
And I think what you're doing is going to definitely, men are going to think twice. Hopefully, that's what I hope you install in people definitely, where they're like, well, I don't want to get aired out. I don't want to be, I think that's a good thing. I think this movie should continue. I really like it. I mean, because honestly, it just doesn't make sense to me.
So crazy. So I was thinking this. I was just throwing it out there. So I think it's good you guys doing it. It gets all the like girls that are trying to sleep their way to the top, get them out of there so we can get the women that are truly talented.
Actually talented. Absolutely.
Absolutely really work hard at actually grind, whether it's acting, singing, dancing.
Wait, expand on that for a second.
Okay, so all these girls, you have men and women. You have these people that will go above and beyond to get in certain situations.
Yeah.
For sleep, pay money, anything. Now we're exposing those people. Now they have to rely on their talent.
Right.
So, hey, they get swept the fuck away. Now I can actually deal with, hey, he's talented, she's talented, that little person talented, that the guy who likes guys, he's talented. Let's bring them in now.
Right.
Because now we see the true beauty of our craft.
I actually said that, and that's what I do like about this. That like it's gonna be a little. Hopefully,
we actually clean house.
Hopefully, it has a positive impact on the talent level, and like because we know somebody that has slept for like spots at like a club. Like
really?
for a 7-minute spot.
Do I know this person?
Yes.
Do I know this person?
Yes,
maybe.
probably.
Would they sleep with me?
Probably.
Would they or did
you
they?
got a 7-minute spot, bro? You got a 7-minute spot?
Crazy? You know so crazy? I wouldn't put a girl or a man on my that does that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want that type of blowjob. I want you to want to suck my dick. Like I don't want no 7-minute spot.
you got a 7-minute spot.
Purist.
7 minutes spot
really
doesn't sound like I'm gonna like
heart.
it.
Yeah.
And that's not to dumb down the situation we're going through. It's just the truth.
No, you're absolutely right. It's true. And it's like, because when you have a system, like a construct like this, it's not just the people that are committing the acts and that are the perpetrators, but also, the people that participate, and inadvertently condone it or just blindly condone it because they've benefited from it in some way.
I feel like sometimes that I've condoned it just by not even speaking up.
How you feel about that, Al? I really like for people who have been through what you're doing and not that they don't want to step up. Does that anger you?
No, it's not. It's not up to me how people, especially women, choose to deal with the difficulties of harassment, systematic harassment, and assault, and all that stuff. That's not up to me. I'm not. It's an aspect of feminism too. I'm not here to tell women how to respond to their perpetrators or their assaults or their harassments. I think
we all come to terms with it in different times.
We all have different programming too.
Absolutely.
Like every person has a different constitution that enables them to handle things in a variety of different ways. And to process things.
Do you feel as if we all if everybody comes together, we can actually make more steps and more ground to actually stop this?
I think for me coming forward and making a video, I wanted to show like I said before, I had to acknowledge the possibility of being sued. I had to acknowledge the possibility of him, retaliating and trying to discredit me and tarnish my own reputation and stop my own career from really happening. Because I'm not I barely have a TV credit. I'm a regular at a club in Hollywood. Cool. I got my name and my face on a couple marquees. Okay, cool. I get some good paid work. I do the road a little bit, but I'm not anybody. And, of course, I knew I had a good reputation though. But of course, I had to acknowledge the possibility of this. And in the end, it was worth it. It was totally worth it because for me, I wanted to, in taking that step and taking that action, I wanted to just remind women, or if they didn't know before, to let them know then that this is not my problem. I have nothing to be ashamed about.
Right.
I'm not, and it's not my job to keep anybody's fucking secrets. If someone has a dysfunctional behavior, even if it's pathological, even if it borders on illness, that's not my problem. I don't need to hide that from anybody.
I think eventually it's damaging to you too, to not say anything. And then suddenly you wake up and you're angry with yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Why am I harboring this when I
don't need to be protecting anybody.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, you need to fix it. And if people not saying, keeping your secrets isn't helping you fix it, fine. If getting a video made about you and publicly shaming you, and then a bunch of people telling you to fuck off when you try to ask them for help because of it, if that's going to get you to fucking go to rehab and figure out what your sexual dysfunction is and get on some medication, fine, do it.
You think
fix yourself.
You think rehab can really fix this?
I mean, I do believe there are therapies, and I think where it's a controversial issue, but
most people are too embarrassed to even go to therapy.
No, I mean, this is say he.
If you have a compulsion, I mean, I'm an addict, and I've been sober. I've successfully arrested an addiction, and I think that if you have a compulsive sexual behavior or deviancy that is, granted criminal and illegal, I do think there's ways to arrest compulsive behaviors. Yeah, of course.
You mean as if you were to be a sex addict or something like that?
Or have, literally be a sex offender. That's what I'm saying. Operative.
What I think he's doing is violating, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't think there's no rehab for it. Now, is there discipline for it? Yeah, there's jail, there's all those type of things. But I don't really truly think there is a sit down, let's get into the brain of this.
What did you do?
As someone
beat his ass up or lock him the fuck up. That's just the way I am. That's just
or don't hire him.
That's just
yeah.
That's another way.
The consequences are a big aspect of recovery. Material consequences are definitely a necessary aspect of recovery. As someone that has intimate, has intimate experiences dealing with neurologists and people that do understand the brain chemistry behind compulsive behaviors and addictions, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
But I know a guy, who was sober for a little bit and old school style, a bunch of homies took him out and they beat his ass because he fucking drank and did drugs too much. And long story short, it worked for a couple months, but then he went back out and he started drinking. I wish there was the answer. Okay. I wish we could just beat people to a pulp so they'd stop doing what they're doing.
Okay, I have another question. Say if he does go seek the help and he is healed and he is recovering, he's doing
you don't know if he's healed.
No, hold on. And he's striving for forgiveness. Would you be able to forgive him?
Oh, I've already forgiven him. There's a difference, because I really do believe it's a pathological thing. I really do think that, even with the most heinous stuff, people that are look, normal people don't rape people. Normal people don't touch kids. There's a dysfunction there, and sometimes it's a mechanical dysfunction. Sometimes it is a brain abnormality or irregularity. There's no doubt in my mind someone like Jeff Garcia is sick. Okay, I can forgive someone, but forgiveness is not, especially when they're sick. But forgiveness is not synonymous with tolerance.
Right.
I can forgive someone and not tolerate.
You're compassionate, and you understand nobody's perfect.
But I don't have to tolerate.
You also
the
don't have to hold on to your resentment about it because why kill yourself over it?
And if he does make some steps to handle that thing, would you actually be comfortable with him? You don't have to talk to him, but would you feel comfortable in the same room with him?
Not alone, but that's actually an interesting thing. And I think I said it in the video because a lot, I thought about questions people would ask themselves. And one of them being well, why wouldn't you try to talk to him and tell him to, yourself, how his behavior hurt you. And I said in the video, I was because I think this is a sick person. And I don't think putting myself in that situation is a healthy one or one that would even, garner any results. Because if he really is that unhealthy.
I actually agree with that. What? I don't think
she's not going to convince him.
Yeah, she it would have done no good. She probably would just got cursed out.
I'm not saying convincing. I just want to know, if that happened, say, God forbid, he 2 months down the line, we're doing another podcast, we're all together. He walks through the door. Would you freak out or would you feel?
Oh, I mean, if it was a context that I didn't knowingly put myself into, if I was just here and say he walked through the door now, I'd be oh, fuck this. I'd be I'm out. I'm not. But if it was he reached out to me or a friend reached out to me and was hey, I want to make amends to you. I thought about the X, Y, and Z, and I realized now that my behavior was not only criminal, but extremely harmful and detrimental to you, and I hurt you, and I want to say sorry and make amends any way I can. I would be totally receptive to receiving that. In person, I don't know. If it was going to be in person, it would definitely have to be in a supervised setting.
I mean, when I
we'll be there for you.
The question I was actually thinking about, say he pulled you into, let's say, comedy store.
Definitely not. I'll never put myself in a situation where I'm alone with him. Ever again.
No. I'm saying it would be at a comedy club in public.
No.
That's not a lone setting.
No, I think an amends like that, when you're recovering from something and you're really trying to, I think, the safest place possible, and no offense, but that is not a comedy club.
I just name it a public place that we all cool with, you know what I mean? Because we're all comics. We all go to comedy clubs. And I have done dumb shit, nothing to the sense of fucking Jeff, but I pull people aside yo, I said some slick shit. I was drunk.
But that's when you say some slick shit, not when you grab someone.
But I never took it upon myself to go find them, go to their house,
right? Exactly.
Or go to their job
pursuing it
to make amends.
Oh,
so I'm saying when somebody does make amends, I would think of public place would be the best to do it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
you're not gonna go to his house.
Go to Burger King. Why go to a comedy club?
I just want to be understood.
You got to meet at a police station.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, something. So looking back, this is tough. Looking back, what kind of if a woman's in this situation, is there any advice or anything you could say to possibly help prevent this from happening to anybody else?
No, I don't think there's any prevention. I mean, Fu, is there a way for you to prevent getting pulled over by the cops?
Shit, yeah, there's things I do.
Yeah?
Yes.
I mean, you can drive under the speed limit, and you can use your turn
fixing
signal.
My hat. There's putting that Uber sticker up.
I'm just saying,
literally, I like to drive at night. So I mean, this is not me trying to outshadow you. I put my seat up. I take my hat off. I don't crank music. The music, my choice of music is different at night.
Wow.
Because that vibe is different. They hear a bass from rap, yeah. Now they hear some acapella singing. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, these are the things that I do.
But yeah, sexual harassment and getting pulled over a little bit different.
No, because she could be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Because she could be like in a sense of, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So I cannot get put in that situation. She should be able to be herself.
Yeah. And all I was saying, like the only parallel I was trying to derive is like you can't prevent being black, you can't prevent being a woman, and I think like being a woman is a predisposition to getting harassed and assaulted. I don't think there is an adequate way to prevent it because if there was, it wouldn't have happened to me the multiple times it's happened to me. Like I told you about the time in the grocery store after the Jeff Garcia thing that happened months later. Dude, I was just fucking shopping for ice cream. I was wearing fucking like even the night when Jeff grabbed me, like, cops asked me, they were like, what were you wearing? And I was like, what? I was wearing, they need to ask those questions. They were like,
appropriate question, like, as do you?
I don't think it's a pertinent question at all. I don't think it has anything to do with anything.
Unless you were wearing nothing.
But they needed to ask, and I was wearing jeans and a long sleeve shirt. And I have a picture of it because like I took a selfie with him on that couch before it happened. I was wearing a long sleeve t-shirt that was light pink. It wasn't even form fitting. It was kind of drapey and I was wearing jeans.
So he thought, oh,
you should never have to explain that though.
Yeah, she took a selfie with me. She wants me.
Oh, right.
Who knows?
Because people do take those things as
Well, no, I mean, like, he was friendly with me, and he definitely remembered from having worked with me the first time. But he knew that one of my good friends opened up for him, so it was like, oh, let's take a selfie and send it to so and so.
You definitely took your kindness for weakness. I will say that.
I take pictures of people all the time. I've never been assaulted by them. Like it's just to answer your question, Dante, I don't think there's a way to prevent getting assaulted sometimes.
I mean, I think they should definitely follow your example and like literally and just tell people, just make it public whenever it happens. Even if the person, Jeff Garcia is a bigger comedian. I'm not as big as Carlos Mencia, but like even if it's a freaking open micer, even if it's just a regular guy that works at the grocery store, you should. I think. You should always make it aware, make it public, because the more people do that, the less it's going to happen. The people are going to be more scared to do stuff like this. People are saying, "Oh, we got to be careful now." It's already becoming the Me Too movement has had some type of effect.
Yeah.
And I think it's been positive, and I think you've inspired a lot of people. Cool. And and then
good. I mean, that's the point.
Especially inspired men to not do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Alex is a fucking badass.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Alex Powers. Yeah, thank you.
We good.
I just looked at Fu, put my hand on his back. I was like, we good, man. Yeah. Phil and I, we're cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways.
You're a little
there will be a translation of this podcast available for you afterwards.
Shut the fuck up.
No, man, Fu's my homie. I've only like really met you a few times, but I'm a big fan. Super hilarious, and obviously, Dante's Dante. I mean, you crush it. You're just fucking great. And
see, this is who she is. She's always saying
you explaining some shit I know.
She's always.
But you're about to explain some shit I know. Stop being fucking Maury Povich. All them talk. Yeah, you just rubbing everybody's back.
Fu.
You're definitely rubbing.
You're just happy you got a new ass hat. All right, you're just happy.
You take it and you go left. Come on, you're better than that joke.
All right, maybe
the timing was
maybe
off.
A little bit. 5 milliseconds.
No, like a lot of seconds.
Okay, 0.3.
No,
seconds.
no points.
Oh, you know what? Go fuck yourself.
I mean, I would if I could. Trust me, I'd do it.
All right, guys. Alex, thank you so much for coming out.
Dude,
thank you.
Totally. Thanks for having me, you guys. I mean, I know it was like a super intense topic, and I probably was really long-winded, but it was good to talk about it. I hadn't talked about it in a while.
And sponsored by Comedy Pop-Up.
Yes, Comedy Pop-Up. Do not
Comedy
believe in
Pop-Up.
touching chicks and calling people the N-word, which Dante called me Blackie before we started.
But it was B.
For the record.
It was a B.
And the timing was also, it wasn't even funny.
The other black guy in the corner laughed, so it's okay.
No other black guys here. Oh, he didn't laugh. He was offended.
That's
Guy
because he's the
hasn't laughed
boss.
at all.
I know, he's very serious. That's at Jersey. I don't know how a person from Jersey wear a Boston hat, but
Is that
you know.
a camera?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, you looked good on camera, cursing me the fuck out. I'll tell you that. You definitely told
You
everybody.
didn't do anything you wouldn't want to see on camera. I watched.
You watch? You gonna watch it?
I'm really glad this was, this tape was rolling, because if anyone did touch me while we were doing this,
Dante did tap your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Dante
that was the
did?
back, not a chest.
Shit.
You understand?
She doesn't want to be touched at all, Dante.
How do you
know
know?
what?
She
would
can
say
answer yourself.
something. Then she would make a tape about
She
it.
did
and I
say
would
it as soon as you
sorry.
did it.
And you know what? I bet you she would meet me in a private place.
Yo, did
Listen.
Jeff Garcia really has he been insulting me since I did this? Like behind my back?
I haven't heard anything.
Dude,
No.
I
neither
haven't heard
have
anything. I don't really talk to that guy.
I just saw it was one of your questions, so I was like,
Listen,
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying,
Yeah, I'm
I
just
don't
curious.
want my back touched by a chubby Asian guy. I'm just saying that. I feel out, and that should not happen nowhere on the pop-up comedy thing.
Noted.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Completely Unprofessional Podcast. I got it again. Thank you, guys.